Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to AriesEDC, and by the thumbnail and the title of this video, you already know what we are going to talk about. And I am super excited to get into it because this is something that I know a little bit about. EDC fixed blades, they're kind of my thing. And this is the TRM Three Rivers manufacturer Tag Along. And when I did the unboxing, I kind of explained that when TRM announced that they were doing a EDC fixed blade, I jumped on and I started chatting with them on Instagram, and they were very kind and giving me updates of when it was coming out and things that were happening. And I was concerned on a couple things, and a couple things that I was excited about. And I gotta tell you, it's good. It's really, really good. If you're looking for an affordable EDC size fixed blade that you can last a lifetime with, here we go. I mean, besides one of mine, TRM is a U.S. manufacturing company making everything in the United States, and I think this is actually the micarta on the handle is repped there too, so that's pretty stinking cool. So let's talk about it. First of all, for $170 on their website, you get this really cool package. Now, right off the bat, I added the lanyard, and we're going to talk a little bit about that here in a second. And I added this loop. So right off the bat, I added this loop. Now, you have a couple options when you're buying this knife. You can pick handle materials, which they have all micarta on the website. On this run, it's all micarta, and they have an orange micarta, a blue micarta, an OD green micarta, and the black micarta. And each of them look very, very nice. And even the green micarta is almost like a natural. And the orange is kind of like an orangish reddish. It's a very attractive color. It's not orange. So a really cool option. So let me take out the knife so you guys can see it, because people get upset if I don't take the knife out fast enough and show you guys the knife. So there is the knife, a nice small package. And you do get two options of a sheath that you could choose from. You do get a leather sheath. This is a wet molded sheath and done very well. You can see right in here how they wet molded it to the knife. And you can get a pancake sheath or a taco sheath. Basically, this is the taco sheath, or you can get the pancake that has basically the other side looking like this with two holes over here, which give you a definitely different options to carry. You can see how I like to carry it. You also get in this package, you'll get a ulti clip that you can strap on to make it a pocket dropper, or you can put it on the belt that way as well. And you also get a leather lanyard to use if you would like to put a leathered lanyard on. I chose paracord, and we're going to talk a little bit about why I chose paracord, or just my preference. Really nicely done leather sheath. It looks like it's completely 100% hand done, not like a manufactured sheath. So they are probably getting somebody to build a leather sheath for these, which is really cool. So TRM does small batch releases, and they just do a really great job. And I have a couple TRMs. They sent me the TRM Bulldog, which I absolutely love that knife. And I own also a TRM Holy Nerd, which I purchased. And this was my first TRM I had ever purchased. And I absolutely adore that small little knife. But this thing has me. You guys know I'm a huge fan of an EDC fixed blade because, well, I make EDC fixed blades. So they kind of fit into my world. And in my world, my personal world, a nice 3-finger EDC fixed blade, small package that you can carry on your belt, appendix carry on the front, right side draw, is perfect. That's where I like to carry all my fixed blades, and this one allowed me to do that perfectly, even with the leather sheath. I'll be honest with you guys, when I saw that it was a leather sheath, I 100% had it in my mind that when I got this knife in, I was going to do a Kydex sheath. But the retention and everything on this sheath is absolutely perfect. And that package, and I'll show you guys this package versus something else here in a minute, is actually really great. So I have been wearing this on the front, right side draw, where this part of the blade kind of comes on the front of my belt buckle, and you can kind of see where my belt buckle kind of hits the leather, and that's how I like to carry. Now, the lanyard, I chose to do a paracord lanyard, and I'm glad I did because it is deep within the sheath. So if I'm using my index finger to push off, my thumb to push off here, my pinky is grabbing hold of that lanyard, and now I'm pulling the knife out of the sheath and I'm ready to go. So the lanyard does help me pull that out of the sheath. And I'm now going to set this sheath aside so we can talk about the knife. You have the nice micarta done very well. It is contoured micarta, so it's got all the nice curves and everything else. It fits the hand very well. Your thumb can be here. If you need to pinch grip it, you can pinch grip it, get a hold on that tip to make any of the little cuts that you need. And 3 fingers is great. 4th finger on that lanyard. Again, that's why I like to put the lanyard, and I like to do the 4th finger. And I know that's the big detractor on this, and that's the big thing that people always say. I would never carry anything that's more or less, if it's 3 fingers, I won't carry it. It has to be 4-finger blade, a handle, or 4-finger handle. And okay, to each his own. For me, this is a perfect small package. I could put this on my belt, even with this sheath, and it disappears, and I pretty much forget that I'm carrying it. And that's what I like about it. It's not sticking out anywhere. It's not too small. It's not too big. It's the perfect size. And I honestly, on a day-to-day basis, with my cutting needs on a day-to-day basis, I don't need anything bigger than that. And that is pretty stinking cool. The first batch of these blades were in a blade steel that I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it was, it's a powder formed D2, and I've totally forgot the name, and I will put the name up on the screen somewhere over here, and it'll just magically appear. But I had never heard of it before, and basically it's a spray form of D2, so it has really nice edge retention and toughness. I had just never heard of it before. It's like SB27 or SPB, I don't remember. Like I said, I'll put it on the screen. But done very well, and I honestly have cut a couple things with it, but I haven't done extensive cutting with it or anything else. So maybe I'll do a long-term with this. I know I'm going to be sending this off to somebody to check out, and I'll get it back from them. It's not going to go in a pass-around or anything. You have T8 screws that I have not taken these scales off, but I'm assuming you have the 6 T8 screws. You could just unscrew these handles and to service the blade if you need to. It being a carbon steel, it is not as stainless, so you're going to need to oil the blade and protect it, especially if you're storing it in that leather sheath all the time, which I have done. The blade length is 2 7/16, and the overall length is 5 5/16. So let's get a ruler so you guys can check that out. So you can see it is just under 2.5, the total blade length, and the overall length again is under 5.5. So nice small little package, which surprised me because when they were sharing pictures it was hard to see the actual size of the blade. So it was actually kind of cool to see this package and how small it actually was. And TRM stands behind their product, and they do an amazing, amazing job. And they are doing a second run already. And guess what? They are going to be doing it in Magna Cut. So the next run, and you can go to their website, and I'll link it in the description of this video. Right now, you can go on, they're considered back order, but you can actually go on the back order, choose what you want as far as sheath, as far as handle color, and you can get yourself on there for the Magna Cut #2 batch for this blade. How cool is that? So a little thing like this in Magna Cut, are you kidding me? Yeah, I am now wishing I would have held out a little bit for the Magna Cut version, because I would love to be able to carry this to work, but I don't want to mess it up with the things that I am doing at work. So, really excellent blade. You have that nice stonewash finish that gives it a really good look. And the first time I saw it, I thought the flat back was completely flat, but it's actually not. There is a small curve to it, and I love the way that there's that curve, and then it comes down into the hand and becomes very comfortable in the hand, because even without the lanyard, yeah, I'm getting those 3 fingers and I can still grip that knife really well. Just gripping it right here is very comfortable where the finger choil is, and it keeps you away from the blade, and they did a really great job with that. So let's look at some size comparisons. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the sheath again, because I want to show you guys some things with the complete package, because I like showing a total package. So let's do that versus the Kubi Bloom. How about that? Of course, Kubi Bloom, still one of my favorite EDCs, fixed blades, but of course I'm a little biased on the opinion on that, since it is my design. But you could see overall, we're looking at pretty much the exact same size package on your belt as the Tag Along and the Bloom. How stinking cool is that? So let's take the blade out so you guys can see. There's the Kubi Bloom, and we have the Tag Along. We're looking, the Kubi Bloom overall is probably a little bit longer than the Tag Along, which is kind of interesting. You guys always know that Bloom is a pretty small knife, and this is actually a little bit smaller than that. And it's also has a thinner profile than the Kubi Bloom. So that's a cool size comparison. How about that versus the Kubi Dust Devil? Obviously the Dust Devil is much more longer, and they have both a very thin profile, but of course the Kubi Dust Devil is a lot longer. And let's do a folder just for the heck of it. Let's look at that versus the Rat 2. The Rat 2 being a 3-inch blade, and you can see that obviously the Tag Along is much smaller than that. So overall, my thoughts are this is an absolute amazing EDC fixed blade, in my opinion. But for everyday carry, not camping, fishing, hunting, not going and purposely doing something, just for everyday carry, for your everyday cutting needs, open up those boxes, maybe cutting a piece of rope, cutting a strap, cutting, I don't know, whatever your cutting needs, this might do it. It's a really cool option from TRM, and I'm really happy that they decided to do this, because this is a really cool option from a really cool company. TRM is probably my favorite US company right now, and just with the things that they are doing, and this is just another opportunity to get a knife from them, and it's at a more of a reasonable price, $170 for a nice small EDC fixed blades. And now the Magna Cut version will be, according to their website right now, the exact same price. It's hard to beat, guys. Really stinking hard to beat. So that is what I have for you guys. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments. The TRM Tag Along. What a great option from TRM. I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park when it comes to an EDC fixed blade. So I hope you guys appreciate this one. Please remember, subscribe, like, leave a comment, or not. The choice is always yours.